Alright guys, welcome back to CWRL's World War Wall here at Wall Speedway, and our next matchup here in round 1 will be the King's Court taking on the Buschwhackers. We have everything all set up here. We will quickly get through random 5-second qualifying and get to the nitty-gritty of this one. Now, the King's Court is third in points right now, holding 357 points, but they have a good chance right now to catch up on chasing the Elliots and the Intimidators if they're able to perform, as both teams have just been sent home packing, both with 20 championship points each, just for participating in the event. The same
Drivers,
amount of points
to your cars.
to any team that do not qualify for the main event tournament here or at any other CWRL event. Now, one more thing I want to get through real quick is the reason why we are having these special events now, World War Wall, the Battle of Bristol. Next week, we will be having the Rumble at the Rock, which is Rockingham Speedway. The reason why these are going on is because these are normally supposed to be once a month, but this league got started in March, so I wanted to get the events that were meant for January and February caught up on and out of the way, because I didn't just want to throw them all away, because the big events count for something. And fight nights at the Freedom Factory are going to be a weekly thing. So there will be far more fight nights as we go along than there are special events. But in the meantime, these special events just need to get caught up on. And then after the Rumble at the Rock next weekend, we'll be back to a normal schedule. So 4 weeks after that, we will be at the Slinger Speedway for the Slinger Showdown. And that should be interesting. That is one of the fastest quarter miles you will ever see. And I was talking so much about World War Wall being at one of the fastest quarter miles. Now this is one of the fastest third miles you will ever see here today. So let's talk about the starting order here. We got the Checkers cars starting far back in the pack. This is interesting. Now, per the rules, the Checkers cars must start. The Checkers and Wreckers cars must start in front of the traffic jammers. So we will reset and re-randomize qualifying until we get this desired result.
Drivers, to your cars.
It didn't work any better that time either.
Drivers, to your cars.
Variety between the Checkers and Wreckers.
Drivers, to your cars.
These are some performing traffic jammers here, apparently.
Drivers, to your cars.
The traffic jammers can spoil the race and race into these positions, but they should not be starting in the
Drivers,
top 4.
to your cars. Drivers, to your cars.
So we'll try this again. It might be a situation where at this track I may actually have to turn down the performance of the traffic jammer cars, as they are performing impressively here today at World War Wall.
Drivers, to your cars.
Let's see how this turned out. Wow. In a complete twist of events, the traffic jammers have completely outperformed the Checkers and Wreckers car for each team.
Drivers, to your cars.
It's not getting any better.
Drivers, to your car. Drivers, to your cars.
No.
Drivers, to your cars.
No, that's not good. Thank you all for bearing with us as the traffic jammers are outperforming the Checkers and Wreckers cars. I may have to turn down those traffic jammers' performance here. And they're already set at 50% compared to the 100% that the checker and record car have, respectively.
Drivers, to your cars.
And that's a little bit better, but that's still very unacceptable. That being said, I'm just going to turn down. Try this one more time before I try and turn them down. Traffic jammers are definitely playing a spoiler role here in getting the randomized qualifying done. It's supposed to be 5-second qualifying, not 5-minute qualifying.
Drivers, to your cars.
Oh, and I will take it. So the Wreckers car is starting on the front row with the King's Court on the pole and the Buschwhackers on the outside pole. All right, we got something we can work with here, folks. Thank you for sticking with
Drivers,
us as
to
we
your
get into the third match here of round 1 at World War Wall. Thank you for joining us here, CWRL. I am the Geek Guru. You can see the pace car here coming into turn 3 and 4. We have eyes on the record car for the King's Court. And green flag is out, and 10 minutes on the clock once again. King's Court getting off to its early start. The King's Court checker car moved up to second spot. Able to hold his own very well. And then you got the checker car for the Buschwhackers all the way back in 5th. Well, the traffic jammers starting to perform. Moving past the record car for the 3rd spot here on the track. This is a battle for position between a traffic jammer and a record car. King's Court is running 1, 2, 3 right now. With the checker car in 2nd spot, it's not going to do that very good. In the event that they were to tie or not score any points where both teams went pointless, then the team that finishes first at the end of the heat race is the team with the advantage. So they have the advantage right now, but it's not much of an advantage if you want to go into round 2. You don't want to be 82 points behind like Hello Newman is, and they are going to be paired off in round 2 coming up here after the 4th matchup of round 1, which is between the Candymen and the Rainbow Warriors. Meanwhile, King's Court here still showing the way in 1st place with the checkers car in a close 2nd, but not gaining any on. But the King's Court holds the top 3 spots, which is unusual to say, as the traffic are not designed to keep pace with the leaders. However, this track might be suited them, and they're underperforming cars, as they might be able to hold out the throttle a little bit longer in the turn as they perform. Either way, these traffic jammers seem to be set up just right for the track as they remain somewhere competitive. Meanwhile, we have in 8th place the record car here for the Buschwhackers, and that could spell trouble if that car is caught up to and lapped by the leader. That could be 10 points for the King's Court. Meanwhile, you got 2 of the traffic jammers just not performing compared to the one that's running 3rd right now. Running with the leader, keeping pace if I King's Court putting on a bit of a clinic, but not scoring the points that they're going to want to have going into round 2. I mean, they'll advance to round 2, but this could also be a double-edged sword, as advancing is a great thing, but don't advance with points, you get eliminated in round 2, then you just go home with whatever points you have. If you get shut out in round 2 and you still have 0 points, that's just flat out 0 points for your day. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There are no pity points. There are no participation points. If you perform consistently bad, then you get punished for it here in CWRL. So you want to be making those points, and you want to be leading those laps and passing the cars and winning those heat races with your checkers car. And then using your wreckers car to play defense after you score good points. Right now, all Boogie Racing is going to have to do is play good defense with their wreckers car, or at this case, you could have one of their traffic jammers who seems to be lead the way and prevent their checkers car from advancing any further. Checkers car here for the Kingsport still holding second spot, as the checkers car for the Buschwhackers has gained a little bit of ground, still right behind that traffic jam for the Kingsport. Now, because the traffic jam is on the lead lap, there will be no points scored if the checker car here passes them, as this battle is for position. And the idea is they need to lap this car to score these points. So, the record car, meanwhile, for the Buschwhackers is performing worse. Back in 6th spot, a couple of traffic jammers and being in the top 4 right now, as he is clearly losing ground to the leaders. Views here. See the leader now coming up onto lap traffic, and with the checkers car in 2nd spot, he is in good position to score points here, as we are down to just a little over 4 minutes remaining in this heat race. And that checkers car literally lost position to the traffic jammer for the Kingsport, as that traffic jammer just got hungry and is now taking the points. In a surprising turn of events, the traffic jammer here for the Kingsport is leading the way, as we are now under 4 minutes. Now, the traffic jammers here can't even score points, but a good way to keep yourself from becoming points for the opposing team is by leading the event, which is actually surprising in an underpowered car. But they are making it work for them today here, as not only that traffic jammer advanced, but you can tell here in the distance, you have a Buschwhacker in 3rd position on the prowl of the checkers car for the Kingsport, who's trying to take the lead here and start scoring points for his team with 3 minutes remaining in this heat race. And he is going to do that, as he has just scored his first point for the team. No, he has not. Excuse me. That leader is still quite a ways away, as I have mixed up those traffic jams. It's quite easy to do, and very unexpected, considering it's unusual for traffic jammers to even be able to keep pace with the leaders in most circumstances. But right now, you got 2.5 minutes left, and this checker car for the Kingsport trying to start scoring points, which he has not done yet. My mistake. But trying to start scoring points for his team with a traffic jammer impeding him from doing that right now. Meanwhile, you got the Buschwhackers checker car here in a close 3rd, running down the Kingsport checker driver in 2nd here, using that lower line to get around the track quicker, trying to make the shortest distance possible, even though this is only a 3rd mile speedway pretty much. There's not much distance that you can cut. All the distance you can cut apparently matters, as they are working lap traffic right now. And that is 3 points scored for the Kingsport, as that was a Buschwhackers traffic car that has been put a lap down. Meanwhile, the King's Court traffic car has also been put a lap down. So that is 3 points there for the Buschwhackers. As we get into 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining, it might be a points tie, but at least they will not leave with 0 points today. The Checkers car now in the second spot, trying to chase down the leader, who is the Checkers car for the King's Court. So right now, scoring points, leading laps as we get down into the final minutes here, pulling away, breaking that tie total from the Buschwhackers, about to put another Buschwhacker a lap down here, as this traffic jammer is just right in front of them, as we are within the final minute, scoring these precious points. Gonna be able to go into round 2 with at least some points, so no one will be going home with 0 on this one. Meanwhile, the Buschwhackers will be able to say they took home some points from lapping some traffic jammers here, as they have lapped at least 1 traffic jammer so far from the King's Court. And we're in the final 30 seconds here. We're going to move within the copter view, as you can see that the leader still leading, and in a surprising twist, the Buschwhackers moving for the lead here in the final 20 seconds will take that lead away from the King's Court as they moved into turns 3 and 4. We are within the final 10 seconds, so this is 2 to go at the line, as the Checkers car did the crossover move, going back to the lead, as this will be the white flag lap. The Checkers car for the King's Court leading the last lap here, hopefully, as we come out of turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It looks like the King's Court has done it. They will get 25 victory points in addition to the laps that they led. Both Checkers car have lapped all of the traffic necessary to score their points for lapping traffic jammers. So we're going to take a look at these points totals, and we will be right with you. So the King's Court scored 8 points for leading, 3 points for lapping a traffic jammer, 11 points overall there, plus 25 additional points for a grand total of 36 points on the round. Not the greatest showing, but still not an absolute 0 showing. So good for them. That is excellent news. Meanwhile, the Buschwhackers were only able to lead 1 lap with that checker car, and it was tight coming into the final round here, but the victory points mattered the most as the checkers car for the King's Court came out on top. So they will wind up leaving with 4 points overall on this round, and they add 10 additional points for the day. So 14 points, which will be doubled to 28 here at the end of the event for the Buschwhackers. Not exactly the showing and performance that they wanted. I'm pretty sure they're disappointed. But at the same time, they made the show, so that says more than most cases for the drivers that didn't. And in the meantime, you got teams that are just hungry and raring to go here, trying to chomp points away from the leaders. And the King's Court might be able to do that on chasing the Elliots and the Intimidators, maybe get that second point spot back, or even, dare I say, retake the points lead, as all these points at the end of the event will be doubled once again. Alright, now we will be moving on to the next segment, setting up the Candymen against the Rainbow Warriors. This will wrap up round 1 here at World War Wall. For CWRL, I am the Geek Guru 1986, and I thank you once again for sticking with us here. We will be right back to set up the next matchup and final matchup of round 1. Thank you so much for sticking with us. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.